act that fool. Hit him, 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 hit him. Smash him up, watch that move. Went too swift, can't catch these dudes. Hit him, 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 hit him. Listen, 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 hit him, listen. This Eagles talk, this talk Eagles. Philly bleed green, it's from your people. Fly, Eagles, fly. Let's beat the squad. Big Pat shelling, Dante the dark job. Drop the stats on him, drop the facts on him. It's Pregame, baby, let's get it on.
Yo, DarkKnight, you have no audio on that side. You have no audio, DarkKnight. Can you hear me? Yeah, Dion said no sound. If y'all can hear me out there, make some noise, make a clap. We're going to get Dante straightened out in a second. Dion, let me know if you can hear me, Dion.
All right, 1, 2. Can you hear me?
There you go. Yes.
All right, now we are. All right, okay. Hey, welcome. Game day. What's going on? It's your man, Dante. The Dark Knight here. Game day. Our Philadelphia Eagles, 3-0. Philadelphia Eagles coming off a dramatic win against those Los Angeles Rams. A late second block field goal by Jordan Davis, scooped up by Jordan Davis, and returned for a touchdown to preserve a win over the Los Angeles Rams. Has us as 3-0, and we face the 3-0 Tampa Bay Buccaneers, our nemesis, 3-0 Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Since Jalen Hurts has been starter for the Philadelphia Eagles, we are 1-4 against those Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So today, let's start to change that trend that we have against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. We have the luxury of having some players that we didn't have in our previous 2 games against the Buccaneers, and that is A.J. Brown. He was not there for last year's loss, nor was he there for the playoff loss against Tampa Bay the year before that. Last year, neither was Devontae Smith there. So we have a full complement of our entire offense, and we're looking to turn this thing around. Todd Bowles has done a good job against Jalen and the Eagles, and today we come in rejuvenated, hopefully not too high, emotionally high from that win last week, and that we can, play on an even keel and come out and give it our best effort. Now, we do have some things that are in our advantage, which is Mike Evans is not playing on the other side of the field, which bodes well for us because we are -2 cornerbacks, and we have to play Keely Ringo. Keely Ringo today gets some shine. And as you recall, he was penciled to be the season starter going into training camp, but kind of played his way out of that position. And now he gets an opportunity today to reinvent himself or change the narrative, whatever you want to call it. He gets another opportunity to prove himself today as the starting cornerback opposite Mitchell. So let's just start the first one. Let's just get it on the way. You are watching Eagles Talk, the most unique Eagles coverage show around, that is by us Eagles fans, for us Eagles fans. And here on Eagles Talk, we like to talk about our favorite football team, That is the Philadelphia Eagles. We do so in such a relaxed manner that we enjoy our favorite adult beverage in the form of shots. Never forget that if you're an adult and you have a beverage, you have an adult beverage. So I am going to do my wife's special home herbal tea brew. Pat is going to be doing the Woodford Reserve. This is a return to the lucky Woodford Reserve that he had been doing all last year on our second Super Bowl. So we had the full complement of mojo going now. So everybody, without further delay, let's take the shot in honor of our Philadelphia Eagles and today's game. Down the hatch. 3, 2, 1.
You're now listening to the
All right, Pat. A lot of things going on. A lot of underlying stories. We're moving to cornerbacks. They're minus Mike Evans. We are facing a Todd Bowles defense that is not scary by all accounts, but he seems to do well against Jalen. So where do we start? What do you think?
Well, first and foremost, I'm gonna go through the inactives. Then I'm gonna answer that question specifically because that's a very easy question to answer. So you just said one inactives for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The wide receiver Mike Evans, defensive lineman C.J. Brewer, Christian Isaiah, safety, cornerback Kendall Vendor, running back Josh Williams. Today, they get back Chris Godwin and Tristan Wirfs. For our Philadelphia Eagles, cornerback Adoree Jackson, third string quarterback, backup emergency quarterback Sam Howell, edge Aziz Alori, offensive lineman Drew Kendall, and wide receiver Xavier Gibson. So to that question that you posed, the last time we played a Todd Bowles team, we went into that game without A.J. Brown, number 1 receiver, Devontae Smith, number 2 receiver, Lane Johnson. You know our record already is terrible when we don't have Lane Johnson.
Mm-hmm.
And Lane Johnson, we had wide receivers that are no longer in the league playing in those positions. So, of course, we didn't have things opening up the way it should have been opening up against a Todd Bowles-led team. This is a whole different story. I know we're going to talk about the Heat. We're going to talk about this. But you know what? At the end of the day, everybody puts on the helmet and they go out there and play ball. This is a different team that they saw before. They saw this similar team, I believe, in 2023 when A.J. Brown was healthy, right? I think A.J. Brown against the Buccaneers with the Philadelphia Eagles, he's 1-0. So it all falls on Jalen and A.J. Listen, Todd Bowles is going to blitz. He's going to blitz 6 to 7 men. But if you blitz 6 or 7 men, that means you leave A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, Dallas Goedert, even Saquon Barkley on an island with one of your defenders, which, don't get me wrong, they have a pretty good defense, one of the better defenses in the NFL right now in week 4. But no corner at this particular point can guard that transformer who is A.J. Brown. Nobody can guard that Decepticon over there. So, I mean, it's going to be a difference. I know for sure they're going to try to stop the run. That's going to be the main objective. Put 6 men on 5 to 6 men on the line of scrimmage. Put the 8 men in the box. Stop the run and force Jalen Hurts to beat you with his arm. The same thing Kansas City said to us in the Super Bowl. He said, "We're going to stop Saquon. Jalen, we got to beat this with his arm." This is Jalen's time again to prove that he is the franchise type quarterback that we always wanted and that we have at this particular point.
Yeah, I agree. We are not the same team that they saw and beat us last time with. We do have our full complement of starting receivers. Our most important, probably a future Hall of Famer, offensive lineman Lane Johnson. So now we're going to see where we stand now. We'll see what Todd Bowles has in store for this offense, but he's going to see the full force or the full complement of what we have on offense. Last week, we talked about it a lot. Talked about it Thursday. We talked about the reappearance of an explosive offense by the Philadelphia Eagles. Right? We haven't seen that since the Super Bowl. Let's be honest. We haven't seen that type of offense since the Super Bowl. So it was a welcome sight to see Jalen throw 3 second-half touchdowns. And our big hope, right, is to see that offense again today.
Yes.
Our big hope, the big question of the day is to see if we can duplicate what happened in the second half of last week. So this game is just as important as last week's game. When I said that this is going to tell a lot about this team, this is going to tell some things about this team too. What are they going to do? What is their identity? We understand that it's still the first month of the season, the last game of the month, and we at least I consider the month of September, the way that we run training camps and preseason, as an extended preseason. We're coming to the end of that extended preseason. Last year, same situation, wound up 2-2 at the end of September, and then caught our stride in October. So this is a game that I'm looking for this team to further find and solidify what their identity is going to be on offense, because right now I think it's flux. I think that we cannot use that same exact formula, at least not without establishing the passing game.
Correct.
I think that day of just running Saquon, down someone's throat has to be adjusted, because the league has adjusted to us just running Saquon down everyone's throat. So there has to be an adjustment on this side, and I think getting in and relying a little bit more on the passing game is going to be what helps us the most this week.
Yeah, I mean, I hope the second half of that game last week was a precursor of what the rest of the season is going to turn out to be, right? An explosive offense we've been asking for since the start of the season. Now, the thing about it is, they said it. A fluid passing game opens up the run game. A fluid run game opens up the pass game. If you combine the two with the athletes you have, the best roster in the National Football League, this team could be unstoppable week in and week out. It could be a headache for every single defensive coordinator. Then you ask the question, how do you stop this team? Do you take away one player? If you take away one player, then you got 3 others that's going to dominate. But I'm hoping we don't go back to that vanilla type offense where we saw it in the first half last week. Because we cannot afford to come out flat against this Tampa Bay Buccaneers team. They're 3-0. They're rolling on all cylinders, even though they're down there. Our receiver extraordinaire, Mike Evans. Their other rookie wide receiver, Emeka Mbaku. What's his name? Emeka Mbaku. Yeah, he's from Ohio State. He's pretty damn good.
Yeah.
Baker Mayfield to Emeka right now, their passing percentage is 133. So whenever he's throwing to him, he's on point. And so that's his main threat. So you get Chris Godwin back, but what is he? What is he right now? He hasn't played all season. He was coming off a major injury that he suffered last season. What is he? Is he going to be getting back into shape like A.J. Brown was in the first game, just running for cardio? Tristan Wirfs, he comes back today. Is he going to be in game shape? I doubt it. I doubt these guys are going to be ready. And we need to take advantage of that. Don't come out there and set a vanilla tone. Be aggressive. Go deep on the first play.
I agree. You speak about the challenge. You speak about the wide receivers that Tampa Bay are going to be fielding today. And that rookie,
Emeka. We're going to say Emeka.
I'm sorry. I need to see his name. I should have it up on the screen. But we're going to see him. And you made a great point that when Baker Mayfield goes to this guy, his passer rating is 133. They're connecting a lot. Luckily, he's more like a possession receiver. He's been, I'm sure he probably has the ability to go deep, but they've been using him in a possession type of way, role. And that's something that we have to be worried about, right? Not because of his extraordinary skills, but probably because of who's going to be playing cornerback today, right?
Yes.
We have, Keely Ringo out there on the field today. How can we help Keely Ringo? He fell off the face of the earth after preseason, after being projected as a starter for this year, kind of stunk it up in training camp, and now he gets a chance to redeem himself. But how do we help him? We got to get a pass rush.
Mm-hmm.
We have to get a pass rush. We have not been stellar in that category thus far, only 3 sacks in 3 games. We kind of expected more. We wanted more. Well, today, let's see what Vic can do to turn up the pressure on Baker Mayfield, because we've seen Baker Mayfield in those 5 games in which he's won, in which Jalen Hurts is 1-4 against the Tampa Bay Bucs. We've seen that. I just lost my train of thought. We've seen in those last 2 games. We've seen Baker Mayfield pick apart our defense with just methodically moving the ball down the field. No real big explosive plays either. Like with Vic last year, he was the king at stopping explosive plays, and they didn't have many last year against us. So even with the subtraction of explosive plays, Baker Mayfield still moved that team up and down the field against us. So what do we do to slow down Baker Mayfield? Starts with a pass rush. We've got to see a pass rush, and we're minus Nolan Smith. So I don't know what Vic is going to dial up. I'm interested to see what combination of edge rushers he's going to use. Do we see some Jahad Campbell on the outside? We know we got Zadarius Smith. He's going to be used in that position.
He's taking his primary role. He's taking Nolan Smith's primary role, and Jalen Hurts needs to step up. Let's be honest. These guys that we have on our team, Josh Uche, Jalen Hurts, Zadarius Smith, they need to step up today. Today is the day where you're going to be rotating in and out because of the temperatures, 112 on the field, they're reporting. But regardless, they need to step up and be big-time players in this big-time game.
I agree. Just a break here to tell you that I have rushed in from Charlotte, North Carolina, where I attended over the weekend the homecoming of Johnson C. Smith University down in Charlotte. I had a great time with my frat brothers, and you know better than I to belong to a organization of brotherhood is amazing when you go away and you get that love from your brothers that you've not ever met before, but because you share the bond of your fraternity, it's love nonetheless. And went down there and they showed us nothing but love, hospitality, felt like I was home, experienced a different HBCU homecoming experience, which is unlike anything other. No shade to the PWIs out there. No shade. I'm sure that your homecomings are great also, but an HBCU homecoming is incredible. All right, I'm talking. There's a combination of a lot. Family reunion, everything is it's so dynamic, and I enjoy myself immensely. So shout out to everyone at Johnson C. Smith and the hospitality that they extended to us while we were down there. And I will be sure to be back next year. So I'm just coming in off an 8-hour drive, and which I did about 6 of those hours. Woo. So I'm here and I'm ready. Put on my uniform for the ride, so I didn't have to waste any time. I could just jump on the microphone.
Yeah.
Only hiccup was that I forgot to turn it on. But hey, we're here now. Look, without further ado, let me bring in our third co-host. That is you guys that are in the chat room. We thank you all the time for coming and pre-gaming with us on Eagles Talk. We don't take that lightly. We appreciate it all. So the first person in the room tonight or today is Jeremiah. He says game day, and then he immediately lets me know that he can't hear me. We can't hear you. All right. Then Dion, this is right down Dion's alley because he loves to just point out everything that's wrong. So no sound. No bueno. All right. All right. But he is our QC, quality control person. So he said he can hear you, Pat. Now I can hear both. All right. So Dion was the second person in the room. Third person in the room was Jack. Jack says, yeah, let's get it. Let's go, birds. Jerome is fourth, says fly, birds, fly. Deborah is in the house, hoping for a victory today. Haven't seen you in a while. Welcome, Deborah. Christopher Burton. Yo, Chris, I ain't seen Chris in a while either. Sup, Seagull family, checking in from the Jobby Job. All right, we're gonna hold it down. Can you watch it from the Jobby Job? That's the beauty of today's technology. Like, back in the day, you worked the job, you was missing the game. If you had the benefit of having a radio, you might catch it on radio. But back in the day, before all this technology, you work, you missed the game. Now, beauty, you got a phone, you can watch it. I'm not saying watch the game because you should be doing your job, Christopher. But yeah, I mean, whatever you can do, you can do. But anyway, Rachel's in the house. She says, "Hello, fam." Hello, what's up? Never heard of him. All right,
he's at the game right now. Yeah.
What's good, Eagles fam? Here at the game in Tampa, and it's hot. Go Eagles! Oh, that's what's up. He's going to be our correspondent on the spot. That's what's up. Stay tuned so you can give us updates of what's going on. Is it really hot? It is hot. He just said it's hot. I'm about to say it's really hot. All right. So with that being said, we see what is ahead of us. The defense has to come up big. We need to see a pass rush to help the secondary. Basically, they're married. So if we get a good pass rush, maybe Keeley can look a lot better than he looked in preseason. So help him out, guys. Don't let Baker get comfortable back there. We know how he looks when he gets comfortable. Baker is now playing like they expected him to play when Cleveland drafted him.
Yeah, I mean, listen, he was number one overall quarterback for a reason. He won the Heisman Trophy. The only downfall is that he was a smaller quarterback. He wasn't, he went to Cleveland. Let's put it that way. Cleveland is not a good destination for quarterbacks. Let's be honest. Since 2012, they didn't have about 57 quarterbacks. And I'm not exaggerating. That's probably the actual total of starting quarterbacks that they had there because they have a running total going on. But yes, Baker Mayfield is a very fiery, very good, very direct quarterback. He makes things happen in and outside of that pocket. He scrambles. That's one of the main things that he's doing right now. He has a very strong arm, but he is facing an injury right now. He has a bicep injury. Listen, bicep injury. I don't. If you are not like completely injured, if you're not torn, I don't. It's just a destination. It's not real for me. So let's be honest. With Mike Evans being gone, they're going to have a dink and dunk down the field. So it's going to be a different game for Baker Mayfield, and he might scramble just like Pat Mahomes did. And we have to make sure we contain him. And like you said, DarkKnight, get after him. Don't let him sit back there and beat Tom Brady against us. I hate to say that. Every time I say that, that happens. Listen, don't want to sit back there and be a Joe Smo. Let him feel our rush. Let him feel our pain. But
let's end this quarter. Let's end this quarter.
Yes, sir.
All right. So we're going to end this quarter, man. Thank you, guys.
And that's the end of the quarter.
All right. You're listening to Eagles Talk, the most unique Eagles coverage show around. That's by our Eagles fans for us Eagles fans. And here on Eagles Talk, we like to talk about our favorite football team, still defending world champions, Super Bowl champions, 3-0, undefeated Philadelphia Eagles. We do so in such a relaxed manner that we enjoy our favorite adult beverage in the form of shots. I'm doing the herbal tea. Pat is doing the Woodford Reserve, the Lucky Woodford Reserve. And we're going to see if this Woodford Reserve can perform the same magic it did for us last year, as that's the same drink he drank all of last year. So you guys, let me know what you are pre-gaming with this morning. Let me know. So here we go. Down the hatch for our Philadelphia Eagles. 3, 2, 1.
You're now listening to the second quarter.
I gotta do this, DarkKnight.
Go ahead.
It is game time, man. Oh. You know what time it is. You know what time
Y'all know what time it is. You know what time it is. Let's go. Let's go. Always had my uniform. I took my uniform with me to Charlotte so I can wear it and be ready for the game today.
Definitely.
I'm always in uniform. When it's game day, you got to be on uniform. You got to be in uniform. What is your uniform? What? Let me know out there. I want to know. What is your game day uniform? Do you guys have that tradition? Is that a part of your tradition?
Yeah.
I know some people get up, they have a pregame game day ritual of what you cook, what you do, and before that, do you have a uniform, a game day uniform that you put on? This is mine. The hat, the Kelly Green hat, and my you guys see my I got a pair of Jordan 1s, Kelly Green and black. So that's those three things are staples of my uniform. So let me know what you guys what your uniform is today. All right, getting back to this. Oh, I gotta mention this. I'm not going to go down the rabbit hole. I'm gonna save the full conversation for Thursday. But I had the pleasure, or maybe displeasure, of sharing my trip to Charlotte with one of my frat brothers who is a Bummanders fan. And we had the debate back and forth. And one of our debates was Jalen Hurts and him being an elite quarterback.
Oh my goodness. I'll be talking about it for 8 hours. For the whole ride.
I'm not going down there. I'm not going down that. I'm telling you. But, his whole thing was stats and this and this. And I was like, yo, that's okay. And you're entitled to your opinion. But I think he's an elite quarterback. I think he's a top 5 quarterback. And I stated my reasons why I thought that. Now, I wasn't in the discussion to win him over. I know he's going to stay where he was. Mm-hmm. But he is a national champion debater, so he likes to debate. So, really? We went down that rabbit hole. So, but I still stand my ground. I will take a winning quarterback, ones who knows how to win games, and that doesn't always include box scores or statistics, right? Mm-hmm. So if you want the sexy stats and all that, and and that's what makes your quarterback elites, and you don't win anything, go ahead. I mean, by all means, go down that. But I've been an Eagles fan for a very long time, suffered through the years that they didn't, perform up to their potential and bring anything home. And here comes this guy, and he has us in the Super Bowl 2 out of 3 years, and he wins 1. I'm going to ride with that guy. That's just who I'm going to ride with. That's who I'm going to ride with.
Yeah, I mean, listen, Super Bowl championship, 2 Super Bowls in 4 years? Like, come on, man.
Yeah.
All he does is win. Like his worst record as a starter is 9-8. As a 9-8. Right now, in the past 20 games, for the games that he has finished, he's 19-1. I mean, he's 19-0. For the game he did not finish, they lost. That's volumes on who he is. Period.
Normally I don't even, I mean, it's fun. It's fun sometimes. Sports debates are fun. Yeah. I'm to the point now, though. Because I'm getting older. I don't know. I don't need to waste any breath on that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yo, if you're cool, not thinking my quarterback at the top, I'm not right. I'm not going to fight you over it. We don't have to. You all right. I just believe my quarterback is who he is, and I don't really need a whole lot of discussion over it. I just like where I sit right now, and I'm not taking for granted any of the success that we've had. You know what I'm saying? I'm not. I am just I have seen, and I've talked to players. And talking to other fans has actually given me more gratitude for what our Philadelphia Eagles has done and is doing, and that's winning games. I don't take that for granted. Because there was times when we were not this good, you know what I mean? And we were not this good for multiple years, successive years. So I am very happy to be on this side of the ledger sheet than the other side. I am not taking, man, can you imagine like the Cincinnati Bengals, the Browns, and all those teams, man? Look, I'm happy. I am happy. And you can say what you want to say about my quarterback. Start winning. Yeah, I mean, just start winning, and then you can have some say. Like, go sit down. Go sit down somewhere until you start winning. You know what I'm saying? Just go sit down somewhere. I said, told him, I said, the best thing that happened to us was Green Bay this year. Because that's the first time I've heard the Commanders, the Bummanders, shut up. Because they would talk so much at the beginning of this year. We ready, we retool, we this, and this. And I'm like, okay. We going to do it. I'm like, okay. I was like, well, I would probably, take baby steps. We blew you guys out 55 to what? What was that? 55 to 14? What was
55 to not enough?
55 to not enough. Let's take baby steps. How about you try to cut that deficit in half? Just go for half. You know what I mean? Try to keep us from scoring 55. And then, work your way up after that. Maybe the year after that you get a win or something like that. But you know what I mean? To jump out and just come at us like we're the Super Bowl, like we're not the Super Bowl champs. It's not an easy thing to do that. Don't downplay what we did. Don't take away what we did. Don't try to belittle or minimize the fact that we're Super Bowl champs. And as such, as fans, I'm going to be very proud of that and very, very vocal because you guys were very, very vocal when we didn't win one. You guys never let me forget the fact that we didn't have one Super Bowl. So I'm not going to let you forget the fact that we have two in the last 8 years. You understand what I'm saying? I'm not going to let you forget the fact that we are an elite team right now and we're the defending Super Bowl champs. I'm just not going to let it go.
Yeah, we are. I mean, there's nothing else to say. Like, it's heavy is the head that wears the crown. And right now, we're wearing the crown. So, of course, everybody wants to come for your title. Everybody wants to come for the claim of the office. Everybody wants to come for the king. But then at the end of the day, it's not for what you're throwing for. Like Rochelle put up a great comment. It's not for your quarterback throwing for 5,000 yards and 25 plus touchdowns. It's what are they doing? Perfect example. Last year, Joe Burrow led the league in pretty much every statistical category. But his ass was watching the playoffs.
Yep.
But yet you put him way above Jalen Hurts because he's a pure thrower of football. He can score touchdowns. But what does that equate to?
It equates to
watching
an elite quarterback that ain't win shit. You know what I'm saying? That's what it equates
watching.
To.
All right. So
what does Lamar Jackson equate to? It equates to a very exciting non-Super Bowl having quarterback. His excuse was, Jalen just had superior talent. Look, man. Look, Lamar Jackson has a very, very great team himself. I mean, like, we're not talking about teams that's at the bottom. He hasn't won anything. Fuck, my man Josh Allen. He has a good Buffalo team up there too. He has a good team. He has a good, and he hasn't won anything either. You're talking about these quarterbacks that you rank above him. They're not on bum teams. They're on Super Bowl contending teams. They just don't have what Jalen has, an intangible that you can't measure on paper. A tangible that's not measured in numbers, except for the number that's most important to us, which is wins. That you can measure, but they don't want to count that. How do you want to come at me with stats? But the one stat that I think is the most important is wins. That you poo-poo that off. Like, no.
Yeah, man.
But again, I'm not going down that road. That's a Thursday night conversation.
Yeah,
let's get ready for this game. Let's get ready for this game.
Road. I don't know how you did it, DarkKnight. Listen, I only traveled to Harrisburg. It was only an hour and a half away. That's a crazy conversation for 8 hours.
I finally put him to sleep with we really haven't heard from the Commanders since Green Bay. That was the best thing that happened to all of us. I said, going into that game, y'all, oh man, I couldn't hear enough of we this, we that. I haven't heard too much of a peep out of them since that Green Bay game. I mean, that Green Bay game really, really put the mirror in front and said, yo, y'all all right, but y'all got a little bit more to go. Like, I mean,
you're not the birds. You ain't the birds.
But
to this game, this game is it's going to come down to the trenches, DarkKnight, man. It's going to come down to who wants it more. Jordan Davis is having a phenomenal season. I know it's only 3 games, but for what we has been tracking on to Jordan Davis being a bust, 13th overall pick, we asked him to do more than what he was able to do at that particular time. He has dedicated himself, put himself in a better predicament, better situation by losing the weight, by being proactive on the off season and getting to a better shape to make sure he's producing next to his line mate, Jalen Carter. Man, listen, once Jalen Carter gets up in a shape like Vic said, those two up front, it's going to be curtains for the rest of the league. It's going to be curtains for the rest of the league.
It is going to be curtains, and hopefully those curtains start to draw today. We need to see that today. We need to go down here and do what great teams do, what elite teams do, because I think we all agree on that.
Yeah,
it's big sexy now.
I'm not saying that, but you got it. You go ahead. Yes, you can. You can say you got it.
Rachel says Jordan Davis is big sexy now.
Oh my goodness.
And that he is. I can't take nothing away. No, pause or whatever you want to say. But he is playing at an elite level. He's playing at the level that we all hoped for when we drafted him. The rave about him that year was what we're seeing now. That's what they were raving that he could be in the NFL, and we're just now seeing it. And we're cool. We're used to waiting. We did that with BG. BG came out, had a slow beginning of his career, but he ended it on a very, very high, playing at a high level, winning 2 Super Bowls in the last 8 years. So, we're used to being patient. It may not seem like it because, we do react, quickly. You know what I'm saying? We will let you know our displeasure quickly. I was reminded of the fact that we booed our Super Bowl defending champs the game after they won the Super Bowl when we won in 2017. We won the Super Bowl in 2018, January 2018. That next game, which is the first game of the next season, we were booing them at the halftime. We were booing them
like trash.
They was playing like trash. That's just, we're passionate fans, and we are intelligent fans also. We know and we hold you accountable. Yeah, you won the Super Bowl, but that still doesn't give you a pass to come out here and present us with that trash that we were seeing. And it was a similar situation last week in that first half of the Rams. And, customarily, we booed them at half of that game also. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong. We are passionate. We know that you can do better, and we were disappointed in the effort that we were seeing in that first half. And guess what? They did better. Yep, they were motivated, and they did. They performed up to the level that we knew that they were, able to perform at. They finally did that, and we were happy. And we're still happy. But now it's a new day. Now it's time to go and get those Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Now it's time to bring some heat to Baker Mayfield. Admittedly, I have to give credit where credit's due. He is playing outstanding football right now. He really is. He is, like I said earlier, he is living up to what the Browns had hoped when they drafted him. But it didn't work out. Sometimes it takes players longer than others or the right system before they blossom into the player they're going to be. We just talked about Jordan Davis. Well, Baker Mayfield is there now. He's doing an excellent job of leading the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to a 3-0 start. They've been contending every year since he's been there, right? I don't consider them on the same level as who I would consider the elite of the NFC. I don't think they're on our level as of yet. I don't think they're on Detroit. Us, Green Bay, I think is at one tier. I think Tampa Bay may come like right under that.
Yeah, they're missing something big. You're exactly right about what tier they're definitely on. They're not on a tier with us. But today, with that being said, we can't play down to that tier. We got to play above that. We have to show them why we're Super Bowl champions. We need to show the betting public that's out there that's saying that we're going to lose this game, or the ones that say that 3.5 is barely enough for us to win this game. We need to go out there and demolish this Tampa Bay Buccaneers on GP. Just because of what was said a few seasons ago in the playoff game about Jalen Hurts can't read the defense. So we need to really show them that we're on a different tier, like you was just suggesting, Dark Knight. You're here, we're here.
Right.
We're off the screen. We need to play like that all day today.
All right, I'm gonna end this quarter.
And that's the end of the quarter.
All right, 2 quarters down, second half of the pregame show. You're here with Eagles Talk, the #1 Eagles coverage show on Facebook that is by us Eagles fans, for us Eagles fans. And here on Eagles Talk, we like to talk about our favorite football team, that is the Philadelphia Eagles, the Super Bowl defending champion Eagles. And we do so in such a relaxed manner that we enjoy our favorite adult beverage in the form of shots. I'm doing the herbal tea. He's doing the Woodford Reserve. You guys have not let me know what you're doing. Come on, let me know what you're doing now. And let's raise our glass. We're pre-gaming. We're getting ready. Game time. I can't wait for Sundays, man. I look so forward to Sundays. So here we go. Down the hatch. 3, 2, 1.
Eagles Talk, the #1 Eagles coverage
Let's
show
go.
on Facebook. That is by Eagles
Let's
fans,
go.
for Eagles fans.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. Oh, damn. Forgot to.
You're now,
Go, man.
you're now listening to the third quarter.
All right, let's go, Eagles. We got to get this win today. We've got to. Let me put this up on here because I disagree. And Shell, you my boy, you my cuz. I love you to death. Oh, Christopher Burton's drinking the lemonade, but I disagree with this to a certain extent. All right, so Shell says families yelling at us.
Yes,
Our defense needs to be present in the first half. We need more turnovers. I agree with that. The O needs to run the ball. We have to get back to the basics. I disagree with that. I mean, Shell, you have been watching the first 4 games, right? I mean, he has been watching. I know that, right? He has, right, Pat? He has seen what the running game has done, right?
Yes. 3.3 point average.
He does know that we've been trying to do that, right?
Yeah.
All right.
And our defense
we don't need to get back to the basics. We need to figure out how to overcome the being able to run the ball. We've got to be more creative. They are prepared to stop Saquon Barkley. They are paying a lot of attention to doing just that. Every team we've faced this year has made it a priority to stop Saquon Barkley.
Yeah.
You've got to do something a little different. You've got to give them, you got to keep the defense honest. Mm-hmm. If they're going to do that, you've got to be able to attack through the air. That's the only way that's going to open up the running game. If you cannot pass the ball while they're stuffing the run, what do you think they're going to do? Continue to stuff the run. They're going to continue to focus on the run. We have to have a passing game.
Yeah, I mean, listen, Shell, I love you. I want to answer you in all caps. Family. Our defense has been holding us down the entire game, first and second half. Let's be honest. If the defense doesn't crack down and allow the Rams last week just to field goals, they blow us out, period, hands down, right? Our offense only managed 17 yards in the first half after Zach Bond had an interception, Shell, in the first half, brother. Our defense did the doggone thing. Our offense didn't touch didn't do anything. They ain't touch paint, right? They didn't. They've been trying to run Saquon, but at the same time, when you have 7 to 8 men in the box and you're running into creases that are no longer there. They're no longer there. You got a running back that's averaging 3.3 yards per carry, and we kind of predicted this would be this thing this year because you wouldn't be in your right mind to let Saquon beat you again. You would have to do something different because if you do the same thing and expect the same results, that's the definition of crazy. All right. So, of course, these defensive coordinators are understanding, you know what? Let's stop the rush. We can deal with the pass. We get that. Now it's time for Kevin Pachuto to understand that that's what these teams are doing. They're putting 7, 8. They're blitzing gap blitzes. They're stunning just for run blitzes. I know you understand run blitz, my brother. They're doing that just because they don't care about the back end of the defense, right? They don't care about the ball going to AJ or Dante or Dallas Goedert. That's why they be wide open most of the time, because they are selling out to stop the run attack. Because they understand that if we get moving with our run attack, then they can't stop us at all.
I agree. All right, comment time. Dion, great comment today. He's letting me know his game day uniform, which is Jeremiah. All I wear is Eagles gear today. It's birds, flip-flops, socks, basketball shorts, and T-shirt while on the grill. But where you at on the grill? You on the East Coast? And today is okay. I mean, we're still in fall. So I understand that. I'm thinking like it's wintertime. All right, so yeah, I understand that. Then he says, man, forgive Shell. He's in the Middle East most of the time, putting his life at a lot for others. No, he's not. I mean, he does do paid security, armed security, but he's not in the Middle East right now. He's on American soil. So it's no excuse. I don't forgive him. No, I'm only kidding. You said earlier, you made a statement earlier, and I wanted to comment on it. Jeez, I forgot that quick. Tony Byrne, here's hoping we catch some kickoffs today. That'll be a good start. Yes, that would be a good start. But to their defense, the kicker of the Rams' specialty is, making what happened last week happen. He's great at that. He kicks like a ball that makes it hard to pick up. So, if there's any consolation, we're not the only team that has had difficulties with his kickoffs. He does that, and he does it pretty well. So that's the only. I'm not going to say excuse, but I'll put that out there. But with that being said, you're right. We got to catch the damn kickoff. That put us in bad offensive starting position last week, and we can't have that in a game that is supposed to be tougher. It's supposed to be tougher. Now, I will say this, right? Tampa Bay's offense looks great. Baker looks great. If you had to pick a weak part of the aspect of their team, it would be the defense, which is surprising. I mean, don't get me wrong. They're performing well enough to be 3-0 right now, but they're not a scary defense. Like, you know what I mean? And go ahead.
Truthfully, Darnell, you're 100% right. They're not a scary team because the last 3 games they played, the Jets and the teams that they have played, they literally had to have game-winning drives. I guess,
right?
They had game-winning drives like every week for 3 weeks straight. You can't continue this moving forward. Listen, the Bummanders did it last season, right? They had game-winning drives that win games. And what happened in the playoffs? They got double nickel put up on them. All right?
Yeah.
Same thing. You can't have game after game after game after game of not producing, and all of a sudden you have the game-winning drive. Because you're going to run into one of those juggernaut teams that's going to put up a 50 burger on you, and you can't come back from that. So I hope today is that day, though.
All right. Oh, this is the point I was going to make. You had made a comment about Todd Bowles getting some get back for the Todd Bowles statement of Jalen not being able to read defenses. Well, to speak on that, Jalen at that time he was absolutely correct. It was early in Jalen's career. He was not proficient at reading defenses. I always make this mention that one of the greatest quarterbacks of our time, Pat Mahomes, admitted that he couldn't read defense well until his fourth year in the league. And in those 4 years, he had, managed to win an MVP and a Super Bowl. So it's not the end-all, be-all, right? And that just shows you that there's a progression that has to take place in the role of playing quarterback. So I guarantee you today that Jalen Hurts is a lot better defensive reader than he was in that first playoff game in which Todd Bowles made that statement. He's not that Jalen. He is really not. So with that being said, I don't think that we're going to have any problem with Jalen being able to read defenses. And hopefully, if what speculation, the speculation of last week's comeback is any indication, hopefully Jalen's calling plays this game.
Making those right audibles.
Yeah, make those right audibles. I hope Jalen said, look, man, hold the beer. Hold my beer. Watch, this is how the offense is supposed to run. Do that another week.
Tom Brady was the same thing. I'm not putting Jalen on Tom Brady's level, but Tom Brady was the same thing. Well into his 4th, 5th season, they were still depending on Corey Dillon, Kevin Falk, short passes, dinks and dunks all over the place because reality was setting in that Tom Brady wasn't reading the deeper routes. So dink and ducks, start the run game, give the running game to it was a screen pass game, give it to Kevin Falk, give it to Corey Dillon, whoever he was the running back at the time, and then you got your tight ends. Once you got the tight ends, he elevated his game. Right now, I really think we got the running back that's starting to elevate Jalen Hurts' game. Right?
Yeah, definitely we do.
So,
great comment, Rachel. Kevin was a little defiant, Patullo that is. His press conference was slow to accept that the offense was not aggressive. If Jalen had audible out of some of those runs, what would have happened had he not audible out of some of those runs? I don't think that the blame has been adequately pointed at the OC as it should be. And I know we're coming off of a win and all, but you can't get past the fact that the offense has looked anemic for 2.5 games. And if it wasn't for the fact that, like she just pointed out, the audibles that Jalen made into passing plays, had it not been for that, we might be looking at 2-1 right now. But in any instance, it's still a anemic offense. And if he's not willing to, we can't solve a problem. This is anybody. This Coach Dante speaking. You can't solve any problem if you don't see there's a problem. If you can't admit to yourself there's a problem, we can't solve it because you don't see a problem to solve. You know what I'm saying? If you can't admit that there's a problem, then we can't solve it. The first thing you have to do is admit that we have to do better. We have to do better. That offense was not aggressive. It was not. And I don't blame you because it seemed to be that you were using the same formula that works last year. I don't blame you for that. If it works, why change it? It seems like that's what you were doing. But you change it when it's not working. That's when you change it. And it wasn't working. Not to the level that I think that this offense is capable of performing. That the approach and that perception that we can just do the exact same thing has not been fruitful in the first 2.5 games.
Yeah. We got about 5 more minutes before the game time. So let's get this 4th quarter in so we get the predictions. Because this game time, Dark Knight. It's game time. Yeah, and I get it. I get it. This offense was anemic. It was crappy. But at the end of the day, we're 3-0 with this crappy offense.
Right.
And that's the end of the quarter.
All right. You're watching. We only got 5 minutes to go. We're going to hurry and say this quick. My Eagles Talk. You do cover still around. It's by Eagles fans for Eagles fans. And here on Eagles Talk, we like to talk about our favorite football team that is the Philadelphia Eagles. We do so in such a relaxed manner that we enjoy our favorite adult beverage in the form of shots. I'm doing the herbal tea. Pat's doing the Woodford Reserve. And you guys are doing lemonade and Jameson and all that good stuff. Come on, let's get this thing going. So here we go. This is the last quarter before the game. Predictions coming up. Down the hatch, 3, 2, 1.
You're now listening to the 4th quarter.
All right. With all that being said, I'm gonna go first. I'm
Okay.
gonna be bold. I'm gonna give a bold prediction that this is going to be a game, and it's not going to be as tough as you may think it's going to be. I think we're going to see the offense come and continue the explosiveness of what we saw last week. That's what I feel. I really think. I think that this last week was the turning point. That second half. We've always had a turning point in each season we've made a Super Bowl run. In 2017, it was the game against the Giants, 61-yard field goal, 62-yard field goal by Jake Elliott. Last year, it was that game in which Tampa Bay blew us out, and we went on the bye. And after that, came back when knocked off 10 in a row. I think this day, last game was our turning point. This game, we start to see more consistency in putting the ball in the air and moving the ball more fluidly than we saw in the first 2.5 games of the season. So today, I think that we win. I'm not even going to predict this. You know I don't ever predict the score. So I just think that we win, and it's not as hard as we may think it to be. Us with more points than them.
I kind of agree with you. I think last week was the turning point and the realization that you got monsters on the outside. You got monsters all over the offensive line. When you have a healthy Lane Johnson, you can only do what you want to do against other teams. Just make it happen. And I think the offensive coordinator, the quarterback, and the offense realized that last week we can do whatever we want to do whenever we want to do it. The only team who are stopping us is us. So, with that being said, I always talk about the line of scrimmage, but today is going to be more than the line of scrimmage. It's going to be a domination of our defense. It's going to be a domination of our offensive line. I think Saquon is going to break it. I'm not going to say he will break it, but I think he may break a nice little 25-yard run, that might set up a nice pass to Devontae Smith or A.J. Brown. And I think we're going to win this big with us scoring more points than them.
All right. So I got one prediction up here, and that's Jeremiah. He says 24-21 Eagles all day. Yes, I like that. I think if 21 to me would be disappointing. I trust Vic so much. I love Vic and this defense so much that when anybody predicts that the other team is going to have more than 21 or 21, I don't like that. I'm just going to be, I use plain terms. I'm not even going to use big words. I don't like that. You know what I'm saying? I think that our defense, 17 is it. Like, I love this one by
Don't go
Dion.
past 17.
I like that.
I think Keely Ringo's going to have a big game. I think Keely Ringo's going to have a big game.
I hope so, man. This is it. I don't see other teams putting up a lot of points. I know Baker's been cooking, but it's time for him to face the Philadelphia Eagles.
Let me answer the last question right there. He's not playing. The big boy, they did not bring him up from the practice squad.
Watson. Oh, they didn't bring him up?
Yeah, they didn't bring him up. You don't have to worry about him for the Buffalo Shop.
Oh, they didn't bring him up.
Yeah.
They probably brought him into practice like, man, who are we kidding? This boy can't play. He ain't stopping nothing. We can't get him to stop eating. How we going to get him to stop something else? All right, look, Jack, we're going to get out of here. We got a minute to game time. I agree, DK, simply because those Georgia Bulldogs are coming into their own. We're just seeing the tip of the iceberg.
Yes,
pause. Can we say that? Oh, no. All right. That's no pause. Okay.
No,
go, baby, go. Hey, yo, you guys go enjoy this game, man. Enjoy the performance that our team is about to put on this Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And then let's reconvene after the game and talk about it and celebrate together. I'm your man, DarkKnight. For my man, my co-host with the co-most, Pat, and Nichelle in her absence. We'll see you after the game. Peace.